Good evening. I'm traveling a little bit and I've just been trying to keep up with His Excellency and the commitments made by the People's Progressive Party Civic in their manifesto. Trying to ensure my knowledge is up to date so that I can be effective in the portfolio that I hold. That being said, I wanted to comment on something that I saw today that was very, very appalling. I saw Azruddin Mohamed and his team try to bully a young, vibrant female minister of government, Minister Sarah Brown. That is part and parcel for Azruddin Mohamed, for bullying people. And I think one can just go back and ask one of his wives as to how that plays out. The reports are out there. Part and parcel for his character. And it seems as though he thinks that indigenous peoples are a matter of convenience. He's going to go out there and try to pretend like he's bringing up issues. I stayed at the hostel. I mean, granted, some years ago. I haven't stayed there in a while. And my family practically lived at the hostel for a while. I got a hinterland scholarship, I know. And I know where the hostel has come from then to now. Are there issues? I would say that there are minor issues, no doubt. But that is why the government has committed to building an entirely new hostel. The one that is currently there has outgrown its purpose. The indigenous population has increased. We've got a lot more demand on resources for indigenous peoples. And that is why the government said, look, we are going to build a new hostel. I was at that consultation when we sat with the architect, Minister Sarah Brown, PS, all the advisors, MP Charlie. We sat at a meeting discussing how we can address these issues and what it is that we are going to do as a government, the People's Progressive Party Civic as a government. And that was to build a brand spanking new facility capable of accommodating a significant amount more persons with all the amenities. Now, if I'm going to go and build a brand spanking new house, well, in this case, a hostel, we have to look at the allocation of resources. And those minor things that might have come up in the video or in whatever photos are being shared, those things are already on the books. But you have to remember that there is a tendering process, that when something breaks, you have to go through a tendering process to get that contract published, to get the scope of works, to publish the tender, have people bid on it, and then you could come back and say, all right, well, you know what, we've got money allocated for this. That is how the government system works. It is not a place where you have petty cash that you're just going to pull out from here and push it into somewhere. Yes, there are savings in ministries from time to time, and every government, they take that money and allocate it to priority areas. And I'm not saying that this is not one of them. I can't speak for the ministry. Only Minister Sarah Brown can do that. But what I will say is that the government is working tirelessly to ensure that all of our peoples, when I say all, I'm speaking not only about indigenous peoples, but all Guyanese, are taken care of. I also saw, absolutely appalling, that people from the WIN, from Azruddin's party, can go on social media and claim that Minister Sarah Brown's husband has the contract to build whatever it is. Utterly, utterly inappropriate and nonsense. The documents have not even been put together yet. The framework is not there. There's nothing that is substantive to put out a tender, and even that, it is for 2026. The project documents are still being built. The design, we've got a base design for it. We've got things that it has to meet. And you even remove that. Are you going to tell me that because I am in government, my wife should not work? Are you going to tell me that any government person, any person in government, that because they are in the administration, that their significant other is ineligible for work? All of us have to build Guyana. All of us. And the reason why Azruddin Mohamed cannot find work is because the only work that he knows how to do is to be a high-level crook. I mean, if he cared so much about indigenous peoples, and if he cared so much about everyone else that he goes and tries to beat his chest and think that he's doing good, there's an easy way to fix that. Show up at the Guyana Revenue Agency, the Guyana Revenue Authority, and pay the $191 billion that you owe the taxpayers of Guyana. And once you would have done that, then you could come back and say, you know what, these things are not working. Because the very fact that you have denied every single Guyanese an opportunity to benefit fairly from their tax dollars, the very fact that you've done that shows that you don't care. If you really care about Guyanese, if you really care about all the peoples of Guyana, regardless of race, gender, ethnicity, anything, all you have to do to demonstrate your love to the Guyanese people is to show up to the Guyanese Revenue Authority and pay that $191 billion that you owe them. Right? That you owe all of us. Pay it. And stop that high-level crookish attitude. And think that, you know what, I want to find work. Well, Azruddin, I will say this. If you want work, I will gladly give you work. I am currently looking for someone to mix some cement. I'm currently looking for someone to cut some wood. By all means, if you want to work, come, I'll hook you up. I'll take care of you. But before we get to that point, why don't you show your love and care for the country and for the people that you pretend you care about by going out there and paying your tax dollars, paying that $191 billion. All right? And then you can come back and let's have a conversation. Until then, please stop bullying women. Stop bullying women. All right? Thank you.